Hello, my friends. It seems like the situation is already shifting. Russian forces have launched an attack in Pokrovsk before fully building up their reserves. Last night, they advanced and managed to gain a portion of territory. Let's walk through the timeline. Yesterday, the Russian army fully occupied Pavlivka, a small village, and pushed forward. On the military maps, you may notice this area marked in green. That's because Ukrainian counteroffensive gains older than 2 weeks are automatically updated in that color. What exactly happened here? Russian troops managed to cross the river and establish control over Pavlivka again. Just a small settlement with only a few streets. Still, it provides an opportunity for them to set up a bridgehead. Ukrainian forces are counterattacking from multiple directions from Pankivka, Mayak, and further south. At the same time, Ukraine has cut off Russian units near Kucherivka. These Russian troops are not numerous, likely fewer than 100 soldiers remain, but they are isolated and under constant Ukrainian drone attacks. With supply lines severed, Russian logistics in that pocket rely almost entirely on drone deliveries, which are inefficient and limited.
So, why are the Russians persisting here? Their goal is clear: to push Ukraine out of this sector and attempt to cut Ukrainian supply routes. If they can advance far enough, they may threaten to sever supply lines for the entire Ukrainian grouping in the region. This is the same tactic they used earlier to break through near Zolotanivka. At that time, Ukraine's emergency brigades recaptured the area, but now Russia is attempting to regain the initiative. According to the most recent military maps, Russian troops are probing for weak points in Ukrainian defenses. Their command wants to re-establish momentum, especially near Pokrovsk, where they have already deployed sabotage groups closer to the city. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces continue using drones effectively. Drone footage shows precise strikes on Russian vehicles far behind the front lines, artillery systems, armored transports, and supply trucks. Even Russia's infamous Bukhanka vans, often used to move troops, were destroyed and geolocated. But Russia is also adapting. They have intensified their use of glide bombs to suppress Ukrainian defenses before assaults. Geolocated strikes confirm that they bombed several villages ahead of their latest push, making counteroffensive actions more difficult. Interestingly, Russian tactics on the ground increasingly resemble those of World War trenches, razor wire, even soldiers hiding in culverts under roads. There's even footage of Russian units training cavalry with horses. At first, this sounded absurd. But then again, both sides have repurposed unusual methods before, such as anti-drone cages on tanks, motorcycles for mobility, and even donkeys to transport supplies quietly. Horses may not be practical in open battle, but in certain terrains, Russia seems willing to experiment.
A rare video from the front lines also shows Ukrainian interceptor drones successfully taking down Russian Lancet drones mid-air. One striking clip captured the moment of interception, an encouraging reminder of how quickly drone warfare is evolving. Ukraine is also striking deeper into Russian territory. Recently, Ukrainian cruise missiles targeted a major fuel storage facility inside Russia. Photos show reinforced cages placed over tanks similar to Russian tank protection, but the strike still succeeded. These kinds of attacks highlight Russia's growing logistical vulnerability. On the aerial front, Ukraine successfully downed a Russian Mi-8 helicopter this week. Although the landing appeared soft, casualties were reported among the crew. Ukrainian commanders credited the operation to specialized drone and anti-air units. There is also news about potential reinforcements for Ukraine's Air Force. Deputy Defense Minister Lieutenant General Ivan Havriliuk told the BBC that Ukraine is expecting Swedish Gripen fighter jets. Negotiations are ongoing, and while Sweden has not made a final decision, As for losses, last week Russia lost 38 vehicles, while Ukraine lost 25. Unfortunately, Ukraine's losses included 5 tanks, a heavy toll, given that Ukraine cannot manufacture tanks at scale and relies on allies for supply. Russia, by contrast, has announced a new conscription wave of 135,000 men, ensuring a steady flow of manpower without declaring full mobilization. Their strategy is simple: drag out the war until Ukraine is exhausted. And this is why Western military aid is absolutely crucial. Without consistent support, Ukraine risks being stretched too thin across multiple fronts. Russia attacks in several directions, not always to break through, but to force Ukraine to disperse its defenses. On a more positive note, Germany has committed to delivering the full Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine by the end of this year. Not just launchers, but all systems capable of intercepting even ballistic missiles. European allies are also planning to purchase additional air defense missiles for Ukraine directly from the United States. In conclusion, my friends, the situation remains tense. Russia is testing Ukrainian defenses in Pokrovsk, searching for vulnerabilities, while Ukraine strikes back with drones, missiles, and precision operations. The coming weeks will show whether Russia's attempts to regain momentum succeed or whether Ukraine, once again, will push them back. Thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you peaceful skies wherever you are.